Hello, everybody. This is Coach Bala here. One more week bites the dust. What an incredible achievement, all of you. Second week of regular season is going on. Love all the CP video songs that most of you are submitting in the Runners Eye group. Those of you who are hearing for the first time, there is this optional Runners Eye group, WhatsApp group that I had shared, and many of us are there. It's like a public square. You don't have to go through all the messages. It's like a high volume WhatsApp group, but if you want to be part of the zeitgeist, you can just drop at any time, see what is happening, what's the mood of the moment is, share your thoughts, inspire others, and keep going. That's what that group is all about. And we launched the CP song contest, and I think one more week is on. So many of you have provided your CP run. Two things. One is the very fact that you guys are getting out of your comfort zone and trying something that is not something that you would have done. That itself shows progress. Ability to take on things that you have never been comfortable with is what is one of the requirements for doing these kind of marathon training, and that's what you have done. So proud of all of you. And boy, what incredible entries from around the world. Wonderful songs, trying your best. Running in CP is not easy, and singing in CP is even more difficult, and that's exactly what you all done. On top of that, winter weather. Suffice it to say, all of us are so proud of all of you, and also very inspired by all of you, which is what is more important. We as coaches live for these moments when adults bring the kid in all of us and try something, and it's always fun. So thank you, guys. Thanks for adding to the incredible positive energy that we have in this group, and more power to all of us. So today, folks, in this weekend's message, I want to touch on two foundational ways of looking at our training. Those of you who have heard my previous message, I had explained our training through the lens of what is happening in your body as you're training. And I had talked about the inside-out transformation that is taking place across all elements of the kinetic chain, from your heart to blood vessels to muscles to joint strength to mental strength. All of this foundationally goes up marginally. And every time we start the season and we are on this structured training program, we are able to execute that. That's one way the training is sort of where the rubber hits the road when it comes to training. Now, in this message, I want to give you two other angles in which the training is functioning at a level that is quite deep, and why this two additional layers of looking at a training helps you in your journey. And you need to understand that, because once you understand that, you know that your job is just to focus on what is happening today and maybe this week, and the training will take care of it. The training logic will take you to the start line. That's the objective of this weekend, and I want to introduce another way of looking at our training program. The first one is what I want to introduce to you is a FIT framework, FIT. F stands for frequency of your run. I stands for intensity of your run, and T stands for time between runs. Those are the three elements that is very critical as we design the program, and as we want you to focus on this training program basis that design. Now, let me talk about the frequency. For us to slowly, up our game in this long distance journey, it is important that we don't do one-off running. That's why we have regular 3 times a weekday and once in the weekend type of running and walking schedules are given to all of you. The frequency with which you're doing is very important in developing not only your mind and mental strength, but also your physical strength to come together to help you propel the difficult job that all of us have taken. So it is important that you hit a check mark on the frequency of your activity, whether it is running or walking. So not missing any of these activities is a foundational element in your training, frequency. The next is intensity. Now, if all of your runs or walks are high intensity effort, high intensity as defined by not running in CP or not having a regular rhythmic walk, and you're pushing hard and you're sweating, your heart rate is very high, that becomes an intensity, a high intensity workout. And there is a place for high intensity workout in our training program, but not all of your elements in the training program can be within the intensity bucket. Because when you are doing high intensity work, you're pushing the limits of many of your elements in this value chain that we talked about. So when you push it, then you increase the risk of any possible injury that happens on that particular area. So we need to be very conscious about increasing the intensity, and we should provide enough time after an intense work for your body to recover. If two back-to-back intense days you do, then the probability of you having an injury event is a lot higher. So that's why we manage the intensity of the program. So that's why most of our runs is in its base pace, CP pace, which is what we are focused on this meso. But in between, as you grow in stature, especially as you grow in seniority of runs, in between, we'll provide you intensity workout, which is stride runs or stride walk, walking up the hill, going fast quite a bit, like the sprint walk. These are all part of the intensity portion of the training program. And there is a place for it as long as it is in a very structured way of executing the intensity program. So you have the frequency, that means you're doing it quite on a regular basis, not one-off, once a week kind of thing. Then you also have intensity workouts where you design the intensity in such a way that the jump in intensity from your regular is controlled, so that you don't go like too crazy on one day and then completely go to the edge, and after that it becomes difficult for you to sustain regular activity. So there is a method to this increase in intensity that we want you to follow, provided you have sufficient time for recovery post intense work. Now, the reason that you need to understand this is, every time you hit an activity based on final search, if you don't read the instructions and execute on the instructions, then you might miss the intensity workout, or you might miss the base workout after an intensity workout, thereby upsetting the foundational rhythm of the training. Or in other words, make sure before every run you read instructions. Don't just assume that this is the distance I have to run, and just don't even read instructions and then just go and execute whatever you feel like. It breaks the rhythm, the strategy behind our training program. So that's the intensity part of it. And then comes time between runs. This is super critical, folks. The time that you provide between runs is when the real training happens. That is when your body sort of realizes, oh, I've been hit by this training, and many parts of my sort of muscles are paining right now. So I need to start building muscle fibers, building strength, building stamina, whatever be the case, to ensure that the next time when this happens, I am in a better position to absorb this additional stress. That's what your body's problem statement is. And your body is magical. It works to solve for this problem statement, provided you provide time for the body to do that. That time is the time between runs. So that's why when you do a long run, we ask you to do it on a Saturday as best as you can. When you do that, there is a lot of effort and a lot of impact that you've created on the body. And hence you need at least a Sunday and even a Monday for you to recover before you come back to running, which is on a Tuesday. That's how the structure is. So for those of you who missed out on a long run, let's say on a Saturday, then you can do on a Sunday. Yes, you still have one more day. But taking the long run from that weekend to the next week is not really helping you, because you will do it on a Monday and then next week's runs follows and you hardly have any time to recover. So time between run becomes very short, and thereby there is no training effect actually. You're going down. You're going down the hill by doing this more often than what you're supposed to do. So net, folks, if you want this training to really work for you, you want to see your body has moved quite a bit from the start of the season. That means the combination of frequency, intensity, and time between runs, the FIT framework, if you follow it diligently, you will do an excellent job. Your body will beautifully shape up, which is what our plan is. Our goal is not to do an incredible job in meso 1. That's not our goal. Our goal is to do an incredible job in the last few weeks of our training when you're just heading for the race. That's our goal. So let us correct our small changes here and there. Let us ensure that our training pattern fits to the FIT framework, which, by the way, is already done for you. That's what we do. When we design this program, we've already taken care of all of these things. So you don't have to think. We're just giving it to you in a beautiful platter. Just follow daily suggestions, daily recommendations for runs and strength training. Automatically, everything falls into place. Or in other words, from your perspective, all you need to do is read instructions and execute what you need to do for that day. And that's it. You're finished. Go to other parts of your life. You don't have to think about this. You do that, folks, before you know, a transformation will take place for all of you. And this is not something me just saying it. We've seen this again and again and again for more than 2,500 runners thus far. Yeah. That is my message one, the FIT framework. My message two for today is, let us also look at our training program through the lens of how it is delivered. Now, every season, I bring forth this metaphor for all of you. The way you need to think about a training program is like something like this. We all have gotten into this train from New York City, Penn Station, and the train's final destination is on the West Coast, which is in San Francisco. So the train starts from New York City and it goes to San Francisco. In this training train, there are a couple of things that the train rules follow. The rule number one is it doesn't stop anywhere. Once it leaves the station, it keeps going. It doesn't stop. The training train doesn't stop for anybody. It doesn't stop for any individual issues. It keeps going, as you've seen. Every week, the training keeps going. So your job is really to ensure that you are on the training train. For some reason, you let go of the training train and the training train has moved away from you. It is imperative that you get back onto the training train as soon as you can. If you don't get back on the training train, the train will leave you. The reason is the train also has the second rule. And the second rule is it picks up speed as it goes. So when it leaves New York City, it is slow. But by the time the train comes somewhere in the middle of Asia, somewhere middle of America, somewhere in Kansas region, train is moving at 2x the speed at what the speed was at New York City when it left. And then a little later, it's going even faster. Or in other words, if you get out of the training train in the first 2-3 weeks and think that, 3 weeks later I can bring it up, it's difficult because the train is picking up speed as well. So not only you have to make up for lost ground, but now you need to be comfortable in the new rhythm of the training train, which is much faster. Or in other words, much more distances are expected from you than what it was when you left the train. Simply put, the best way to execute on this training is not letting go of the training train. Now, if you are in a situation where you're always in the training train, however difficult it is, then every week when the train picks up speed, the marginal increase for you is very little. You don't even realize it because you're on the train. Only when you're off the train, you see that the train is picking up quite fast and you're not able to get on top of it. But when you are in the training train, then every week as it picks up speed or as it picks up intensity, as it picks up distances, you will not feel it because it is structured in such a way that the marginal increase week over week is very little. So as you are in the training train, all you need to think about is just come back to the basics, which is look down, look at the final search, and just execute the training for that week or for that day. That's all, folks. So if you think about these two messages, in summary, that's all I have to tell you, which is this training is a structured, well thought out, scientific training plan that is given to you. And we as coaches, our job is to make sure that your residency in this training train is as well supported as possible, giving you all the right encouragements, giving you all the right lessons to stay in the train. We are not able to help you if you're out of the train and trying to catch up. Yes, we can a little bit towards the beginning of the journey, but come Miso 2, and you are saying that I have not trained for the last 3 weeks, it becomes difficult for us to help you get into the train because the train is far away from you. So that is when we request you to move to the light program where you're just training on yourself as much as you can without the pressure of a coach looking at you. So by end of Miso 1, those of you for whatever reason not able to be on the training train, you will see your coaches asking you or requesting you to move to the light um, group, wherein you are training yourself based on whatever you're capable of. So in that way, there's nobody overseeing you. So in that way, if let's say it's somebody's asking, the plan is asking you to run 5 miles, but you can only do 2 miles, go and do 2 miles. Something is better than nothing, and see if you're able to catch up. Okay, so that's what I would say, folks. Be on the training train and remember the FIT framework: frequency, intensity, and time between runs are three foundational elements that are required for you to have a successful training. That said, when I look at our runners and walkers, you guys are doing a brilliant job. So glad to see many of you braving the cold and still able to get things done. Man, this is what motivates all of us coaches to continue to do what we are doing. So let us keep the game on. It's not yet finished. January is not over. There are multiple mesos yet to come. Let us focus on the strength training. And yes, we also released the logo, as you can see behind us, behind me, the season logo, which was a little delayed, but very happy with how things have come out in the logo. We have representations for male, kids, women, walkers. I feel that it's a nice inclusive logo that our designer has put together. We also released our t-shirts. I hope that you saw the design and liked the design. It's a technical t-shirt that we offer. A half sleeve only. Initially, we thought we'll do full sleeve, but not much demand is there. So it's just a half sleeve t-shirt. We also learned some length issues for women last time, which we are going to fix it. We'll plan to bring it to your hand by April 1st week, if not first, which is our internal target. We'll bring it from China, and it's $20 a piece. Definitely take your, get your hands on this season memorabilia. Every season we have t-shirts and logos that defines our journey. And this time it's Run Together, Rise Together, a lovely runner, Natraj contribution. So thank you so much, and see you guys in Final Search and next weekend. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.